Hello champion. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss input, type, eval, int and string. We know the input, but we are going to study input more deeper. When we say all is equal to input and then ask enter value. Now it doesn't matter what the value is. Whatever the value it will be, what input will do, input will convert the value into a string if it is in the string variable. If it is in the integer or the double or float type, it will convert it into the string. So let's we do it. Okay. So okay, because I am not seeing the program, so it is giving me okay. When I say enter the value, I said 5. It is saying the type is integer. If I am saying AB, it is saying the type integer. So in the both cases, it is giving me the integer type. Why? Because when any value is going through the input function, the input method, it is converting it into the string type. So this is here the type methods come. We truly have to understand how the type work. If you don't know how to use type, and then if you are not checking the type of the values, then it will create the trouble, because right now we are just trying to learn Python language, but when we are building the programs, the complex programs, then sometimes we don't know what the value is. It is not always the input method. Sometimes we are taking the value from any other sources like a JSON file, or we are using any APIs. So somewhere at some point we don't know what the value is. So then in there we use the type function or the type method to understand what the actual type of the value is, because if we don't know the value, then we cannot perform any calculation, we can't process it. So now we know the use of the type, we know the input, that input is converting all the values. Let me write it here. Converts all int and float into string. Okay. Bingo. So what evolve, int and string they do? So right now we are having the value which is the string form, right? Okay. Let's suppose now I'm saying, what if I'm having a value and the value is 5 and I want to convert it into the string type, but I don't want to use input method. Like I'm saying I'm already having a value 5, right? Or I may be taking the value from the user and user will input the integer type, but I want to convert it into string type. So the first question is, if user is inputting any value, it will be in what? A string type, right? We know it. So let me use it. I'm removing the codes so it will be more easier to understand for you guys. Okay. Here I'm saying that enter the value 5. So what the type of 5 is? Our string. Can I make a change? Can I make this 5 integer value? Yes, I can. How come? The first way is using input. If I use the input, sorry, not input, my bad. If I'm using the integer method, it will convert the value into integer type, but make it sure it, if you are passing value like any character or the string, then it won't do it. It will give you the error. We see it now. See, if I'm saying the value is a, let's suppose, it won't work. Invalid literal for int with base number this, so it won't do it. But if I'm saying this, now it is doing it, however, it is printing the 5. Okay, so you may be saying, I want to see the type. Okay, no problem. Now we know how to use all these things. So what we are doing, we are just saying wrapping inside the wrapping inside the wrapping. We are doing like this. So now here, if I clean everything again and I say the first call, when we ask the user to enter the value and user said 5, so it is what? It is integer. Why it is, sorry, it is a string. Why it is a string? Because input method not only takes the value from the user, it also change the type of it. So now it is a string. But when we use the integer method, now it is integer. Can we use any other thing? Yes, we can. We can also use the eval. It does the same thing. It will produce the same result. So now we are going to have the two integers produce the same result. See, now we are having the two integers. We are having the same result. We can do it. What if I want to convert any integer into the string? Can I do it? Yes, I can do it. Because now we know the values are what? Now the values are integer. So if I say type parenthesis a string, now the variable name val, what? Now what? Now see, now it is a string. Now this is very tough to understand, but please understand one thing. This is commenting style. Okay, so you can make integer to a string, but you cannot make string into integer. You cannot. We have already seen it. You cannot do it, because the principle is you can move from integer to float to a string, but you cannot move from string to float to integer, because the float and the strings are the higher values, so you cannot convert higher into the lower one. You can shift lower to higher values. So I hope you understand it. Keep practicing on it. If you have any question, do ask, and see you in the next lecture. Take care. Bye.